Let's talk about the least common multiple. Now, when they ask you this, what we're going to do is first do a simple example, and then I'm going to teach you how to do it using factorization. So let's say that you have the number, let's make this less thick. So let's say that you have the number 2 and you have the number 6. Now, if I figure out the multiples of 2, I'm going to have 2, 4. Remember, the multiples you multiply. 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4, 2 times 5, and so on. If you want the multiples of 6, you're going to do 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 24, and so on. Now, if I want the least common multiple, first I need to figure out what are the common multiples that I have. Well, you're going to actually have a lot of them, but you don't want the highest, you want the least. So I see that when I start seeing the least common multiple, 6 is the only one that makes sense. Now, if you tell me, Vanessa, what about 12? Well, 12 is a common multiple, but it's not the least common multiple. So how do I do this, easier? Because it might take, if you have big numbers, it might be a problem. So I'm just going to do like a simple example with the same numbers that we used in the last video. So let's say you have 36 and then you have 24, okay? So what we want to do is prime factorization. So let's see, what is the prime factorization of 36? 36 is the same as 6 times 6, which is 2 times 3, times 2 times 3. Now here I'm going to have 2 squared times 3 squared. So that's the prime factorization of 36. Let's do 24. 24, it could be 8 times 3, or you can rewrite this 8 as 2 cubed times 3. Now, in order to find the least common multiple, you're going to pick the commons with the highest exponent and the non-common factors. So I see here that 2 and 3 are common factors, but remember, I want to pick the one with the highest degree. So in this case, between 2 cubed and 2 squared, I'm going to pick 2 cubed, and between 3 and 3 squared, I'm going to pick 3 squared. This is going to be 8 times 9, which gives you 72. The least common multiple between 36 and 24 is 72. Let's do another example. So think of this. All you have to do is the prime factorization. From there, you're going to pick the common and not common with the highest exponent. So let's see that you have 125 and you have 75, right? Let's find the least common multiple. So the first thing I'm going to do is do the prime factorization here. So this is 5 cubed, and then 75, excuse me, is 25 times 3. So I'm going to write down 5 squared times 3. Now, I see here that 3 is not common, but it's okay, I want it. And then from the common ones, I need to pick the one with the highest exponent. So this is 5 cubed, and then I'm going to do 3 times 125 is equals to 375. The least common multiple between 125 and 75 is 375. Let's do the last one. So let's go ahead and do, let's see, 100, and then let's do 80. Now let's do the prime factorization. So 100 is the same as 10 times 10, or I can say 5 times 2, 5 times 2, and then I see that this is 5 squared times 2 squared. Awesome. Let's do 80. 80 is also 8 times 10, which is going to be 2 to the cube times 5 times 2, or 2 to the 4th times 5. The least common multiple is going to be the commons with the highest exponent. So I see for 5, I'm going to pick 5 squared, and I see for 2, I'm going to pick 2 to the 4th. All right, so 5 times 5 is going to be 25, and 2 to the 4th is going to be equals to 16, and 25 times 16 is going to give you 400. The least common multiple between 100 and 80 is 400.